If I had to sum up the development of human technology in one sentence, throwing stones and boiling water to describe the future of human technology. Throwing stones farther and boiling more water. The Industrial Revolution sparked a technological explosion. You might not know what a technological explosion is, but you definitely know about the Hiroshima explosion that was the result of a technological explosion. But after all these years of explosions, humanity still relies on using heat to boil water and drive turbines to generate electricity, even with nuclear energy. And no matter how advanced our use of heat energy becomes, at its core, it's really not much different from primitive people throwing stones at each other. Curiosity to explore led primitive humans to develop technology. Nothing tastes better than dumplings. Nothing works better than your brain. With such a remarkable brain, Homo sapiens had more curiosity than other species. Out of curiosity, they discovered fire. For modern people, playing with fire makes you wet the bed, but for primitive humans, playing with fire was cutting-edge technology. It was also out of curiosity that after chipping and striking stones, they discovered they could create sharp tools. By tying these to the end of a wooden stick, they made the most advanced weapon of that, a wreath spear. This shows just how important curiosity and the desire to explore are for the advancement of human technology. In Liu Cixin's short story Zhao Wenzhao, there's a line that goes, "When humanity becomes curious about the mysteries of the universe, it is only one step away from ultimately unraveling them." Just like when an innocent and ignorant youth becomes curious about me, Liu Bei, he is only one step away from falling into the abyss. But in modern times, the driving force behind our technological development is no longer curiosity, but rather human needs. Food, clothing, housing, transport, entertainment, singing, dancing, rock, basketball meeting, any of these needs creates a market. In 1885, the first car's top speed was 16 kilometers per hour, slower than a horse carriage. But cars were able to meet people's growing demand for faster vehicles, so they were widely welcomed by the public. As a result, automotive technology developed rapidly. By 1932, the top speed of cars built by humans had already reached 225 kilometers per hour. Of course, there are also some technological inventions that ended up meeting needs that were not part of their original design intention. For example, the treadmill was originally invented as a way to punish prisoners, inspired by the oxen and horses used to turn mills. The Gatling gun was designed to increase soldiers' firepower, so fewer soldiers were needed, reducing casualties. High heels were designed for cavalry, allowing them to secure their feet in the stirrups, and lightweight breathable stockings were originally part of soldiers' combat uniforms on the battlefield. So you could say that black stockings were probably meant for tough guys like us to wear. Some people also say that the driving force behind a modern technological development is humanity's desire to be lazy, that the history of technological progress is basically a history of trying to avoid work. How does that make sense? The words are blunt, but the logic holds. We didn't want to walk, invented the bicycle, didn't want to fan, invented the electric fan, didn't want to wash clothes, invented the washing. But the so-called laziness of humanity here isn't really laziness, it's just a different form of diligence. By being physically lazy, we free ourselves from manual labor and gain the time to do other things. Einstein, for example, was only able to publish 5 papers in a single year because he had a relatively easy job at the Swiss Patent Office. 1905 was even called Einstein's miracle year because of this. Just imagine if he had been a construction worker mixing cement all day, working from the moment he woke up until he went to sleep, without a moment's rest, though, wouldn't have been able to write 5 papers or even 5 short essays. See, this is the difference between me, a regular worker, and those scientific geniuses. The big shots had a leisurely job and could come up with a theory of relativity. If I had a laid-back job, I'd probably just spend my time watching borderline videos to kill time. But if we zoom out a bit, the driving force behind technological development is no longer just curiosity or need, nor is it simply about being lazy, it's about solving problems that humanity as a whole faces. Take space exploration, for example. As we've mentioned before, exploring outer space is currently a business that's guaranteed to lose money. So people often ask, isn't it fine to just stay on Earth? Why go to such great length and expense to explore the vast emptiness of space? What's the point? That's basically like asking, why did humans build ships in the first place? Wasn't good to stay on shore. Why take such huge risks to explore the unknown seas? What was the point of that? Our future as humans is destined for the stars and the seas. Right now, space exploration might seem vague and out of reach, but the development of technology is just like falling in love, getting married, and having children. It all has to happen step by step. If a girl skipped the whole process and just handed you 2 kids out of nowhere, you'd definitely find it abrupt. It's the same logic since we haven't yet developed the prerequisite technologies for interstellar travel. It's only natural that we can't see its true significance right now. In another short story by Liu Cixin called The Mountain, he tells a story about an alien civilization of mechanical beings. They live inside a hollow world within a planet with a radius of 3,000 kilometers. For a time, they even believed that the entire universe consisted only of this 3,000 kilometer radius bubble world and the endless rock outside of it. But that didn't stop some of them from risking their lives to keep exploring outward. In fact, isn't our Earth just another kind of bubble world? Human beings are born to explore the unknown. Why do we climb mountains? Because the mountain is there. Why do we explore the universe? Because the universe is there. Maybe many years from now, when humans look at the sturdy ships they've built, they'll remember that afternoon in the cave when they first learned to use fire.